Scotty Reed here with a Black Talk commentary. And on this segment, I want to revisit our last segment, which was about black people in sports entertainment. And on this particular one, I just want to talk about black people in entertainment, period. Now, I did get some feedback on that particular video. A person said that they understand the logic of Mr. Neely Fuller on black people and entertainment. I don't understand that logic, but whatever. All right. Now, but this person said it's because white people view us as entertainers, so we shouldn't be entertainers. First, thank you for your input and your willingness to engage in conversation about this issue. I don't agree that we should be concerned about what white people think, specifically racist white people think. You know, I'm not one of those people that believes that one group of people or another, that they all think alike. You know, that's kind of insulting to me as a black person. You know, when we hear white people, racist white people say, oh, all black people act the same, they look the same, they do the same things, and that's just simply not true. And it's not true about white people either. But I want to focus on racist white people. Why should I care about what a racist white person thinks about me? It's never going to be anything good, because all I am to them in their racist minds, according to the religion that they practice, which is white supremacy, I'm a nigger no matter what I do. So why should I care if white people, racist white people, care about what I'm doing? I don't. I really, really don't. And just in general terms, we should not care about what other people think about what we're doing, as long as we are confident in what we're doing is constructive. All right? The only way I would care about what other people thought is if I was out here, you know, engaged in criminal behavior, bringing shame to my mother, bringing shame to my family name, and things of that nature. So, I mean, I do care about what people think, people that I know, people that are close to me, and, you know, even people that I work with. I care about what they think about me, whether or not they can trust me, whether or not they have confidence in my ability to do whatever task it is that they have asked me to do. So I do care. But I don't care about what racist white people think about me. You think I care about a racist white person viewing me as an entertainer, as I'm being paid millions of dollars to run up and down a basketball court or run up and down a soccer field or a football field? You know, why would I care? I'm being paid millions of dollars and they paying me. They coming to watch me play. Their money is going in my pocket. Why do I care about what they think? All right? Only thing I would be concerned about is if I'm getting paid. All right. So, but in the entertainment field, why is that some people look at that as some kind of shameful thing to be engaged in? Well, again, as the person who made the comment said, well, you know, white people think of us as entertainers. You know, that's all we can do is shuck and jive. And, you know, I don't care about what racist white people think. I care about what I think of myself. Now, in the field of entertainment, I don't understand why that's, you know, supposed to be such a terrible thing to do. So I got this album cover up, you know, from the rap group Public Enemy. And we know rap groups, music groups, that's entertainment, okay? But this is one of the greatest music albums ever made in the history of rap music, okay? If you have not listened to Public Enemy's Fear of a Black Planet, which came out in, I believe it was 89 or 90, I'm not sure the exact date. Could have been 87, matter of fact. Yeah, I think it was 87 when this album came out. On this album, you will learn about racism and white supremacy. This was in 1987 when this album came out. Always was a fan of hip hop. I was, in middle school at the birth of hip hop. Well, maybe I was in elementary school, but during the birth of hip hop, I've always loved hip hop. And I'm sure Public Enemy, Chuck D and the boys don't care if white people think of them as being entertainers. Who cares? All right? And this was a great album because of its honest critique on racism and white supremacy. I would like to ask Chuck D one day, if I had the opportunity, did he, like on the track Fear of a Black Planet, which is also the title of the album, they talk about white fear of genetic annihilation. So the only other person I know to talk about white people fearing genetic annihilation is Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, who passed away last year. And I think that her theory on the fear of white genetic annihilation is correct. But when I was listening to this album, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, I was listening to the album again, and the track came on, Fear of a Black Planet, and I was like, wow, man, they're talking about what Dr. Welsing was talking about, fear of a genetic annihilation. So, why should they be ashamed for being entertainers? Especially if through that entertainment, they are able to do things to fight the system of racism or make people aware of racism. Now, I know you can't do that on a football field. Well, Colin Kaepernick did, okay, but we know, you typically don't have an opportunity to educate the masses on racism, but guess what? After done for the day, you can take the millions of dollars that white people have put in your bank account and transfer it to anti-racist projects, just like Colin Kaepernick is doing. So I just don't think it's logical for black people to be concerned in themselves with what racist white people think about them. That's just crazy to me. I mean, I don't know how many of you are parents out there, but I'm a parent. I have 3 daughters. I also have about 5 grandchildren now. And one of the things that I taught my daughters is to pursue whatever talents that they had and not worried about what people thought about them, whether or not they were any good or not, whether or not they measured up to whatever they're trying to measure them up to. No, if you're doing something that you like to do, that you feel like, you're talented in, don't concern yourself about what other people think. I mean, if I was concerned about what white people think, I wouldn't have created Black Talk Radio Network. When I first launched Black Talk Radio as a program on white people's platform, Blog Talk Radio, white people were sending us nasty, messages talking about that's racist, Black Talk Radio, that name is racist, and what about White Talk Radio? And I had to point out to them that would be redundant since most talk radio is white talk radio. So these people were very concerned, these racist white people were very concerned about what I was doing. They were concerned so much that they complained to people at Blog Talk Radio, and our show got suspended. And so during that time period, I created Black Talk Radio and haven't looked back since. Now, I would have never created Black Talk Radio if I was concerned about what racist white people think about what I'm doing. So that's all I'm saying. You can't go through life basing your decisions on what you're going to do off of what somebody else. Let's set racist white people aside for a moment. You can't base your decisions concerned about what somebody else might think about you. Long as you're engaged in something that is not destructive, something that is not bringing harm to other people, you shouldn't care about what anybody thinks about what you're doing. So I'm just going to chalk that up to self-esteem problems or mental illness connected to racism and white supremacy, where you have victims so concerned about what racist white people think of them being entertainers that they would turn down millions of dollars to play a game, or turn down millions of dollars in the entertainment industry. All right? That they would not pursue their God-given talents because they so concerned about what white people might think about them. That's insane. This has been Scotty Reed with a Black Talk Radio News commentary. I do want to remind you of the march coming up for prisoners' human rights, the Millions for Prisoners' Human Rights March and Rally that'll be taking place in Washington, D.C. on August the 19th. You see the information there. This rally is focusing on the fact that slavery was never abolished in this country, and that the 13th Amendment makes it abundantly clear that slavery as an institution survived the Civil War, because you cannot abolish something and make an exception for it at the same time. That does not compute. That's not logical. This is deception. What you're seeing out there, it's not mass incarceration. It's the continuation of slavery, which has been tweaked to now emanate from the prison plantation instead of the farm or the private plantation. But now they even got private prisons. So, man, we are up against it in the 21st century. If you can come out, if you want to become part of the abolitionist movement and you can come out, please join us. Again, that's on a Saturday, August the 19th, Lafayette Park in Washington, D.C. The rally will start at noon and will last until 5.